Live, guys. I think my audio has stopped. Let's try to see what's happening here. Have some audio off NVIDIA broadcast. Okay, so I've set it to normal mic and we should be ready to go. So welcome back to another episode of Box Mining. So it seems like I don't have noise cancellation today, which is weird, but anyways, let's get on with the show. So today we're going to talk about Bitcoin, Keep3r. All right, a lot of people are asking me, why did I not talk about Keep3r? What is Keep3r? It's a new Andre Cronje project. It's like the most searched term right now. It's crazy, right? It moved literally from $1 to $300 over this week, and we'll cover it, but obviously warnings ahead. It's entirely speculative in my opinion, but we'll talk about what it is. I actually did a deep dive into what Keep3r actually does, and we'll fill you guys on the information on that. Then of course we're going to talk a little bit about why I'm a little bit more bullish. So I'm starting to move into a slightly more bullish territory. I said to you guys on Monday a little bit that I'm a little bit more cautious, but now I'm moving slightly more towards more bullish spectrum, and that's because of some of the recent events that's happening around here. But of course, with some caveats. So yet again, this is a great update episode. So that's pretty much it. We're gonna do a little bit of update on the markets and everything, and we're gonna have a little cool chat. It'll be nice, cool, relaxed. We also had a few cool debates on this weekend, so if you guys not on it, it was already played already, but if you guys want to check that out, there was a really good talk about rebase war. It was I went at him hard on this. This is all about rebasing, the concept. You guys probably heard of Ample 4. There's base protocol, there is Ample, there's like a million different rebasing tokens, like even YAM is one of them. But we actually talk about the kind of use cases of rebase for targeting particular price indices, etc., and how base protocol fits into that. And I hit him hard with a few questions because I fundamentally question the value of having rebasing tokens. Anyways, that was a great debate. It's one of the first ones here, so if you guys enjoy that style of debate where I do hit hard at some fundamental points, do kind of really not be nice. I was like being not nice box mining, and nice box mining. I chose to be not nice box mining, so that was fun. So anyways, I hope you guys can catch up with that, and we are taking a look at everything else here. Of course, guys, if you're just coming into this episode, make sure you hit up that like button. So make sure you smash that up for us to get started, and it does really help the channel. It's a YouTube thing, but I just need to keep reminding myself, ask people to hit up that smash button, because hit up that like button. But yeah, it really does help this channel. And of course, guys, if you guys haven't checked it out already, we have Bitcoin out of the box. So this Bitcoin out of the box, you can search for it on anywhere. So it's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Google Podcasts, it's on Spotify. Just search for it. But Bitcoin out of the box. It is my podcast. Recent episode is about privacy on blockchain with Professor Don Song. It's super legit. Yeah, you'll be amazed at how much craziness that can go on when it comes to blockchain plus privacy. Exactly, it basically solves issue with front running. It solves issue with kind of sharing data as well. This is kind of the next interesting application, I would say, of blockchain technology, because we've seen how we can do decentralized smart contracts, decentralized finance, but what about privacy-based versions of that? Like, can say Facebook and Google share data but without revealing any of the intricacies of that data? That would be pretty interesting, right? So it kind of solves a lot of privacy issues where, if someone wants to query, okay, how many people live in Hong Kong who have cats? This can be done in a private fashion where the program looks at the data, but it doesn't reveal if the individual, who the individuals are who have cats. I mean, that's kind of a lot less intrusive than what's happening right now. But anyways, that's a story for another time, and we're gonna go check that out. So we're gonna start today's episode with the market recap first of all. So we did go down. So yeah, I'm smiling a little bit because I did go back into Bitcoin and Ethereum just a tiny little bit this week, especially with ETH. So ETH has all dipped to 300 385, so it's actually below 400 right now. And yeah, so it's dipping a little bit, and this is where, like, yet again, I said I had a reserve of stable coins last stream. It was rather hard to say because, you know, in this market, we always like people being bullish, right? This is the kind of like, I want to be super bullish too, but at the same time, I wanted to make the strategic smart decision. So it's a case where that did work out very well. So I did re-enter a few positions stacking back up. And one of the reasons why I'm doing this also is because there's actually quite some bullish news on the Asian front as well. So DBS, it was rumored DBS crypto. So this was like, okay, so DBS creates buzz with its plans for its cryptocurrency exchange. This is from Business Times. So there's rumors right now, rumors. It's not, okay, now it's got blocked because of Brave, but anyways, you guys saw, okay, we can look at the block crypto. So it's one of the large banks in Singapore, and they've been known to be crypto friendly, and all of a sudden they accidentally leaked a page. This was the page that they leaked. That's it's a DigiX by DBS, and it looks pretty legit. This was leaked on their website. So just for a few split seconds there, I didn't manage to save it. Okay, I didn't have personal proof of it. This was for a split second. Someone took a screenshot of it, but it was definitely an accidental release. Accidental. All right, but anyways, regardless of that, it's very, very clear that also there's some movements with more and more banks, and we all had PayPal last week, all accepting entries into cryptocurrencies. And we saw this week a few screenshots, and yet again, this is not sure if it's leaked or not, but some screenshots of PayPal's version of buying crypto, and that's pretty cool. So that's what's making me a little bit more bullish. What I'm looking for are two fundamental things. One is public interest in crypto. So more search terms. This, not so much, okay? If you look at Bitcoin trends or searching Bitcoin search trends, it's not too much. It's really still not there. So I don't think it's fully confirmed yet. Like look at the search term results. So we have it picking up, but it's like, it hasn't even topped May levels yet. So if you really want a big run up, right? If you want a big run up, if you look at the past 5 years and how crazy this run up was, right? This was utterly insane. So we could be here. We could be here where, you know, search interest could have dwindled for a while and then it shot up again. I think this is what everyone's hoping for, but we still don't have that full confirmation yet. It's still mildly weak in terms of search results for Bitcoin, Ethereum, general cryptocurrencies. And because that's kind of interesting. That's you know, that's interesting information I'm collecting in. So I'm kind of like, the way I would describe myself is like, I see on Twitter everyone wants to be bullish, and that's kind of when I said, okay, look, I want to look for the evidence of this. I don't want to just get caught up in the storm. I want to make the smart, logical decision here, and that's why, yeah, that's why the way it is. So we have, okay, so Bitcoin is actually stronger. It's performing even stronger than Ethereum right now. It's at 13,400, so it's kind of staying there. It's staying in that 13,000 range at this current point. Now we do have some bloodbaths in the kind of lower top cryptocurrencies, right? So it's kind of, we have a little bit of a pullback happening, and the past 24 hours, it's been more down than up. If you just kind of stack it here, it's very obvious. It's just like a one button click. But I can see that, yes, we do have around maybe roughly like 12 cryptocurrencies that are going up, but the cryptocurrencies that are going down is a lot more, especially in the DeFi space. DeFi also took another big hit this few days, in fact yesterday. So reserve rights, RSR, went down. Yearn Finance also went down. Synthetics went down. Ocean, Ava, Band. These are all DeFi projects, and yet again, there is some bearish kind of movements there. And a lot of this might be due to profit taking. We've been kind of hearing kind of rumors that big whales, especially in Singapore, there's a lot of big funds that invested in DeFi in Singapore. They're just taking profits, right? So that's kind of what's causing and triggering the bullish, the bearish momentum rather. And DeFi really took off very, very fast, right? It took off like crazy fast. A hockey stick up. So yeah, yet again, not financial advice, but we're hearing that people with very cheap tokens, say for example, if a project's currently trading at what, $2, there are big funds that purchase large chunks of tokens at maybe 5-10 cents each. You really got to do your due diligence and find out what these big funds got their prices, got their coins at, because if they're holding a lot at a very cheap price, where they acquired at a cheap price, that could mean very, very strong fundamentals. That's kind of what we're talking about. So now the fundamentals are really showing its face, very clear that there are lots of negative momentum for the time being on decentralized finance. So that's kind of the current situation that's happening right now. Now, taking a look more at the overall market, I still say we're in a healthy state. I think it's still, the current narrative, I would say, it still holds, where Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're becoming the kind of main leaders that everyone's watching. Bitcoin made some big moves, especially because of that recent news I was talking about, DBS, with PayPal, with lots of entry points into crypto, Bitcoin being the most well-known cryptocurrency. And then, of course, we can see that slow kind of sharing of the wealth going to the other cryptocurrencies there. So that's kind of the case right now. So anyways, guys, make sure you smash up the likes. Let's keep getting some more views. So we'll talk a little bit about Keep3r. Keep3r is interesting discussion, interesting to say the very least. So I'll tell you a little bit about my story with Keep3r first, right? So actually, I'll define what it is. So Keep3r is this cryptocurrency here. It is been the biggest and craziest pump off this week. It's been absolutely insane. So if you see it, it really started off here. Let's zoom out a little bit. So it started on Wednesday for me. So Wednesday at around 6. This is when I got listed on CoinGecko, and even before that. So when it actually launched on HoneySwap, it actually launched at around $1 per token. So by the time it went on CoinGecko, which was literally around 40 minutes later, it shot up by 27x already. And to this day right now, it's actually moving to roughly around 284. So there's a lot of speculation there. Let's say, and that's really understating it. This is like all out crazy amounts of speculation. So I don't really want to overemphasize this too much. I'm going to try to be as neutral on this topic as possible. So why did it get so much attention? Why all this hype? Is because this is a Andre Cronje project. So if you don't know who he is, he's the mastermind behind the first Wi-Fi. So the Wi-Fi 1, the original, the real one, if you want to say it. Anyways, he was the one who created that project, and that project, well, took off to insane levels. If you actually look at it, it grew, from 0 to 300 million market cap, right? Even though the prices has fallen down recently, it's still $300 million of market cap in the space of 2 months, right? And in fact, it went more crazy than that, because it kind of led the whole DeFi space, right? That's why he got so famous. So yet again, when Andre puts out a contract, everyone runs to it. That's kind of the way it is, regardless of what this project is. So it's kind of interesting. I'll tell you a little bit about my story. This actually popped up for me. I was thank you guys all on chat, Sid and everyone else, Rob, and so it popped on Telegram for me because I was working at that time, and people were like, okay, Andre released a new project. We don't know what it is, but let's ape into this. So aping being a term of like just whatever, click button and go. So I'm not, yet again, I'm not sure if I should promote this type of behavior, but yet again, I see it's kind of hard not to, it's kind of hard discussion, right? Because everyone's very speculative in the state. And at that time, when I saw this project, I'm like, what is it, right? Before I buy. But the problem was the price was increasing, but by roughly $1 per minute, right? So if it starts off at like $1, it was going up $1 every single minute. So every minute you delay, it becomes a minute wasted, right? One extra dollar more. So yeah, so it's one of those situations where I did admit to aping into it before I knew what it was, but only with very, very small amounts, speculative amounts. So I did have an entry at $26, but on the way up, I did take my profits and took that out. Now it's actually time to figure out what it is. And what it is actually not very simple at the end of the day. So Keep3r is about doing jobs, and they did the worst case of documenting what they are doing. But at the end of the day, these jobs can really range from simple clicking of contracts. Say for example, the one that Andre gave himself in an interview was, say for example, when it comes to Wi-Fi, there are strategies, and these strategies need to be harvested once in a while. So right now it's a manual process. Someone just has to go every day to click a button and say, look, I need to harvest this. Now Andre doesn't want to do it himself every day. It's nonsense, right? If it's a manual process, just go and click every day. So this is where the jobs get done. So these create situations where you can potentially give jobs to a decentralized network of so-called keepers, and keepers are the ones who execute these contracts. So it might be something very complicated like harvesting on Wi-Fi, or it could be something very simple like once in a while rebasing a token. You know, that's kind of like there's all these daily manual actions that these programmers need to perform, and eventually they don't want to do it themselves every day because it's just a lot of maintenance. So that's the idea behind Keep3r. Anyone can add a particular job for someone to do, and you can add the documentation, the job name, etc., and also the job address. So this way you can confirm on-chain that a particular job has been done. And in terms of why there is a Keep3r token, Keep3r token is really just for reputation. So if a job is quite sensitive, so for example in a case where you are collecting or harvesting from a Wi-Fi contract, because that could impact prices of different currencies and lead to front-running situations, you want the keeper to be not a douche, right? Some douchebag might be able to issue a flash loan, front-run the operation, and make a bunch of money. So this is kind of where the Keep3r token comes in, where the more Keep3r tokens you have, the more reputation you have in that space, and then you can take higher end jobs. That's kind of the best description of it. I would actually say that the documentation for this is super, super weak. I actually spent some time trying to figure out what it is. The best way to do it is actually just an interview on YouTube from the big man himself, from Andre himself. I'm just Andre Crone. A Keep3r, let me see. All right, this is one with the discussion on Keep3r. This is the one you want to watch. So synthetic discussions about Keep3rs with Andre Crone from Keep3r.network. This is the one you want to watch to find out what the hell is going on. Because if you search right now on media, like any sort of media, they have no idea what is happening. I think this is a situation where you just want to watch that interview and you get 100% what's happening. I'll give you an example. I saw this morning. I was searching up what is Keep3r, right? And let me see the news. Let's see the news. Like these guys have like, oh, it's taking the market by storm. They talk about the price evaluation, but they have no clue what this is, right? It's like, it's all degens, okay? It's very, very technically oriented. This is why it was a little bit more hard to describe what Keep3r is. So if you guys want to understand a little bit more about it, just listen to it, hear the big man himself. This is the interview to watch. It's released the 22nd, so a week before. It talks about everything, token use case, kind of jobs that they have. He lists out pretty much all the details of the tokenomics, and of course there's also Ponzi-nomics on this rear. You have to bind Keep3r with ETH, which is what's kind of creating this hype. It's both hype and Ponzi-nomics that's creating this crazy hype up. So yet again, it's a situation where I would say at this point, the fundamentals value very little, and most people are just buying either into the hype or off the hype. So it's kind of a crazy situation there. I'm going to be as neutral as possible. I've already took my profits already. So, thank you, Andre, for, I think, pretty much a new iPhone, I would guess, but it wasn't that much. I didn't put much in at it. So that's where the degens are at right now. I think it's already quite late right now. The prices are dipping a little bit. I saw some people who wanted it to go shoot up to thousands of dollars. But I would say one caveat here is that the use case of Keep3r is very, very technical, and the profits might not be that much. So if you're the way to describe it, and yet again, just watch the video. They're describing executing a contract, and the Keep3r will get, not ridiculously rewarded for that. So say for example, a contract might be very complicated, it might cost $100 to execute, maybe the keeper gets paid $10 or $20, right? So that's kind of the job levels that it's at, and the kind of the core design of it isn't for a person, isn't for a keeper to be manual. It's designed for developers to develop their own code to kind of execute around these jobs. That's why it's like, it makes sense if you can get $20 every day for a month, like kind of doing a keeper job. That's kind of maybe what it could be good for. But just be careful. It's not, these jobs aren't ridiculously lucrative, generating millions of dollars per day, right? This is something that's like, he was saying something like 10% above gas costs. That's kind of the rewards he's expecting to give out to these keepers. So yet again, how much is that keeper reputation worth? And in the interview, there was very little speculation on it, because at the end of the day, the system should be, you know, for this community of developers, and it should be self-rewarding by itself. So yet again, not sure if he's downplaying it or if the system itself is really, it's more for developers, etc. So that's pretty much it. So SD says it's like calling do Harvest on Harvest or check for best strategy on Finance and spend gas for it. Exactly that. So it's, as crypto develops, obviously, I think this is going to be more and more useful when there's more contracts with more calls you need to make to these public contracts. Essentially, I think, without being too technical, something that's kind of interesting with these smart contracts is that they don't do anything unless programmers call particular functions. So unlike a let's say, unlike a Facebook application where Facebook constantly updates itself, this doesn't happen unless developers manually hit a button and call it. And that's when you need something like Keep3r, someone to just hit the button and call it. And that's exactly what it's designed for. It's designed for so a bunch of decentralized people can do it. So, you know, yeah, that's it. Crypto Nice says if Moonday can go over 4K, Keep3r can go over 1K. It's kind of crazy. I think like this, the speculation here is insane. It's like, it's very crypto. It's totally expected. I didn't expect it to go so crazy when I saw it when it launched, but you know, it does. So I guess, like, you know, speaking about this, going through this, there's a lot of things I love and hate about crypto, right? So I love the enthusiasm for new technology. That's absolutely amazing. People researching that, spotting that, jumping on it. It's great, right? It's going to fund a lot of development in this space. I mean, if someone like Andrea, one person, one genius, can launch a contract and instantly be worth what is it now? It's a $47 million market cap. I mean, that's insane, right? If you think about that, just think very slowly about that. Let's say, for example, Y Combinator, right? This is a kind of incubator for new products, new startups. What they do is that if you win one of their competitions, or if you get chosen, you get $100,000 for 10% of your company. So that's essentially making your company valued at $1 million, and you only get 100K because they want to play it safe. And usually this requires business plans, going through the hoops, jumping through multiple hoops. It might take even years to develop something that Y Combinator is interested in. But in crypto, I mean, you know, within hours, this thing shot up. You know, the amount of liquidity in this, when the first hour was $2 million. I mean, no one even knew what it was, right? I mean, it launched, it came from Andre's contract. That's good enough for most people go in, right? So it's good and bad, right? This is like good. It's good that someone can create such a valuable company very quickly, and if this is something that can be used for good, right, if it's all and create a good ecosystem, is amazing. But at the same time, you know, the irrationality of this is actually quite surprising. I would say, like, it's beyond over aggressive in terms of what a lot of people are doing. I think on that day of the launch, a lot of people just came to me and asked, hey, yo, Box, what is Keep3r? I'm like, how much do you put in there? Well, 100K. I'm like, do you know what it is? Nope. don't know. I'm not sure if that's sustainable or not. That's my long-term concern. That's my long-term concern. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So Derek says I like numbers. Ronnie Ray says, where and how did you see the launch? It was through Telegram group. So this one was from my Telegram group, Box Nation, that I found out. So there were quite a few people who got in even earlier than I did. They entered at $6, $12. It's kind of crazy. People were watching the contract, right? Like anytime, like Andre's contract, like Andre's deployer address has been watched for a while. So it's kind of like people watch that and get notifications. So if you want to be on, come on my Telegram, but at the same time it's closed. I will open it up very soon. So I'm like, I'll find a way to open it up for me, more people for discussions, and yeah, alert groups for that too. Okay, so last thing, going up, I think there's a lot of comments about this. One of the things is Harvest. Yikes, that's gonna be a really touchy subject. So this was actually covered last session when I was doing the stream. So during the stream, something bad happened to Harvest, yeah, people are very worried about it. I don't want to be too touchy here, so I'll just state a few things before we start. I definitely feel it's worth discussing, and there is definitely a good post-mortem of the flash loan attack, and it really goes to show that good engineering is important here. Now, a few things I want to state about Harvest before I start. All right, so first of all, I did not really go into this. So I was actually quite warned not to touch the Harvest farms, and I did actually say that on my channel too. So like months before all this happened, there were a lot of questions that we started asking about Harvest strategies in terms of the F-Farm USD and the Farm DAI, the Farm USDC. And this was something that I told you explicitly that I did not go into. All right, so I tried for a bit, and then there was like roughly an hour of decision making, and I said, you know what, I would exit. All right, so that's the honest truth of it. So first hour when it was launched, I was experimenting with it, and then there were certain amounts of kind of gaps that made me very concerned about Harvest. All right, so even from day one, I was not actively farming it. I was really more farming the free food for the people. I don't mind being a total dumpster diver and just collecting free farm. All right, that's no problem. So at that time, there was free food for the people, and that was the way I operated. So with these more safer contracts, and I did not opt for more aggressive ones. Now, speaking of what happened, the flash loan mechanic and what happened here, it's quite a long story, but the gist of it was that a hacker, or even, I wouldn't even say that a hacker, it was someone that was very smart and abused price discrepancies. And they managed to make off with around 24 million US dollars. Just bled, almost basically essentially bled that pool for $24 million. So there's actually a gap right now that kind of decrease the value of FUSD. So that's the best way to say it. So it's not like they're missing 24 million US dollars, and when everyone tries to withdraw, there's going to be a end like deficit, you know, missing $24 million. It's rather that the entire value of the pool, so everyone really does suffer some losses. That was, anyone who's in the USDC pool suffered losses. That's kind of the way it is. And it's really to do with design. So it's just, you can read up the Medium contract, and I think the easiest way to summarize this was that the hacker found a way to kind of very, very slightly cause a very small variation in the curve pool that farm was in, and they abused the mechanic where the prices don't get updated as quickly on Harvest. And they did it a total of not just one time, right? So every time this guy abused this kind of price discrepancy bug, he made off with around, let's see, this is the one here, $619,000, right? So this guy abused this tiny price bug using large amounts of money. So this is with the flash loan system. They use large amounts of funds to abuse a small price discrepancy that was done by the engineering team that was oversaw, that was like that the engineering team did not expect, right? That's the best way to describe it. And then the hacker abused it 17 times in a very quick succession. Within 4 minutes, he abused the same kind of flaw in pricing, and he made off with $24 million. So very intricate, very intricate exploit. It has to do with the way they engineered the issue, and they took full responsibility for it. It's just like, at the end of the day, it's just crap engineering. It's an oversight by their team, which led to a bleeding of a lot of money. And this is the biggest problem with DeFi right now, where when they think of these strategies, let's say they have a huge pool of money, and we know that Harvest right now, Harvest/Farm, it used to have around $1 billion of capital that they can deploy on various strategies, right? It's almost like a fund, right? So they can come up with these strategies, but the way the abuse happened was when the strategy interacted with Curve, there were oversights there in terms of how the pricing worked, and it led to the contract being bled. So I think it's a situation where DeFi is extremely dangerous, and it requires a lot of due diligence to make sure these strategies work. I think that's at the end of the day, and this is a very clear oversight on their side. They took full responsibility, and hopefully they can mitigate such incidents in the future. But it still begs to question a few things in Farm/Harvest, and it's yet again why I'm not actively defending them very much, is that there are still centralized elements there. There's one key in Harvest that has a lot of power. So yet again, it's a situation where I'm a lot more careful now. So if you actually looked at my actions and what I do, right, and I'm very honest about what I do, is that over the past few weeks, I have been extremely defensive. In fact, I'm just sitting on funds and not even farming with it. That's how bad it is. In fact, I just withdrew out everything in ETH, put it into a new ledger account because I interacted with so many contracts. I don't want to have any vulnerabilities there. So now it's just like safely sitting in a fresh new account, no previous interactions, no contract confirmations, no approvals to spend my ETH. That's kind of how I am right now. I'm like really defensive in this state, because at this current time, if you look at yield farming, the yields just aren't as great as before, and the risks are really high. I think a lot of people don't realize how high these risks are. A lot of these strategies, they could have fundamental flaws. I mean, if someone's smart enough to exploit this 17 times, what about other strategies out there? There'll be constantly people hunting for ways to exploit them. So this is where I'm a lot more safe right now, like in terms of my overall strategy. I'm not even in Y vaults even. The rewards are so low, right? If you're looking at 6% per APY, it's like, I'm just waiting. I'm a little bit less aggressive there. So I think I'm grateful for it. A few points as well. I think people who were in Farm, I have a few friends in Farm. That's why I'm very light in my language about Farm. I don't think they really lost out either. I think at the rate that Farm was giving out, I think it was roughly like 40 to 60% APY. So if they were farming for longer than a month, they could probably make back, like they were already making money, so they could probably make back the losses that they take on Farm. But I think my kind of take on this, like what I told a few people that were very good friends of mine, is like, it doesn't hurt to take out funds right now, right? Right now, you don't really suffer that much to take out funds. And if you're concerned, if you're over leveraged, like that's pretty clear what the decision is. I mean, you can always go back in a week later when you feel it's safe. But at this current point, are the rewards even justifiable? And that's hard. But yeah, that's my kind of 2 cents. Gerald Draper Jr. says, at Box Mining, I got a new toy for you, a token generator you can play with. Give me a critique about what you think. There's actually quite a few good token generators on it. But yeah, of course, obviously send it to me, Gerald. I would love to see what you have there. And Angela says, wow, everyone launching their own projects here. It's kind of crazy. I think this has been a good incubator. A lot of people who watch this, yeah, congrats to you guys for launching projects and pretty much fat. So that's kind of pretty much the discussion for today. Coin Telegraph. Thank you guys all for watching too. Really appreciate it. And of course, I would really definitely appreciate it if you're clicking that like button. That would be good. That would be very smart. We've got a good question about box mining. What is happening with Swag? So Swag actually got dumped quite hard. So it went down to, let's see, Swag. So let me see where it's at right now. So it's kind of hovering around 10 cents where it's kind of at right now. I think there was kind of drama with Swag, so going all the way down. I kind of repurchased at around 11 cents, which is higher than what it is right now. I think the gist of it was that some people took Swag on Cream and then shorted it. So I guess it's kind of establishing where it's at. Yes, happy, not happy. I think in terms of what they're doing, in terms of the business, it's good. But it's a case where I'm trying to learn that, you know, unfortunately with real businesses, they don't grow at exponential hockey stick rates, right? So if this launched at 11 cents and that was their valuation, then it will take some time to grow, but obviously they're a money-making business, right? So at the same time, not too concerned. I think there are a lot of people who are really concerned about Swag, not financial advice here, but in terms of what they're doing, I think it's like absolutely like solid, right? It's adult entertainment in Asia. I'm still stuck on that, and I think, I think in terms of where I want, like this is something that I would say is much more stable because they actually have a real business around it with generating profits. So yeah, why not, right? That's my 2 cents on it. So that's why I kind of re-entered, and I publicly said that I re-entered at around 11 cents. So I'll see how it goes, and well, we'll see how it goes there. We got a donation from Dmitry Fedorov. Thank you for your donation. When are you gonna drop Ledger from BC Vault? Not really sure what that means. Yeah, not really. Didn't really check out BC Vault. No. All right, we got hey Box Money. Have you got any brand new projects recently from me, Blondie, and Base Protocol? Are they really looking good at the moment? So obviously, NH, you're coming from the DuckDAO guys. I think Ivan was very hot on Blondie. I guess because he's blonde. I don't know. But anyways, I didn't get into Blondie. No. Base Protocol, we had a debate there. It's kind of a situation. I'll describe the situation. The debate was very interesting, and I think there's a lot of questions long term about the functionality of rebase. But at the same time, it's a situation where, okay, look, would you be interested in trying it out? I'm like, okay, it's hard. I'm so conflicted. It's one thing that led me to being very conflicted. I feel like in the short term, these projects have a lot of high potential. It's like, you know, you ask yourself, do you want to be poor, right? Do you want to be right, or do you want to make money? I think I'm right, absolutely, that rebase don't really function very heavily in the future. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, base is presenting something that might be interesting for some other people. And this is going to be the hard part for me, right? It's an internal struggle. I feel like I presented my points, just watch the debate, and I think he presented some points very well. So I'll leave it as that for now. Derek says, are the shirts for sale at Box Mining? We'll find more ways to give it out. In fact, I think we do actually have a giveaway. Blondie, not Blondie. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's just so way too many things. I think Ivan's very big on it. I'm not too much. I don't know. It's just way too many things happening, right? In terms of recent investments, recent calls, I've done mostly with Wootrade. So that was kind of my more bigger investment side. Wootrade and what they're doing in terms of combining liquidity between exchanges. That is very, very powerful. So I think that's recently launched this morning. So that was my thing this week. I think this week was, yeah, that, and then what was it? I took a brief look at Certicate, but wasn't too impressed, to be honest. I'm not gonna just yeah, it was not too impressive. I really hope they do well. They're a legitimate auditing firm, but at the same time, their token launched and was not much fanfare, which was disappointing. I hope they do well, and I hope they can deliver. That's my 2 cents. And then we have Angela saying the box mining giveaways. Let me check that out. Let me send that to you guys here. So check out that. We recently set up we set up Gleam. So we're doing a giveaway, like a proper legit giveaway, and we have we're doing it on Gleam. So if you follow us on Twitter, you do a newsletter, and you visit the YouTube, you get points to enter into the giveaway. So that's what we're kind of doing with the NFTs. We're testing out Gleam because Gleam is cool. So check it out. It's much more fair because previously the way that giveaways were being done, I'm gonna do this. So this is the one that's done. This is much more transparent because you get tickets, and then it's much easier to do it on the back end to pick the winner. So it's much more it's much easier for this to be run like this. Before, I'm just blindly picking it. I like it, but then it just takes too much of my time, right? So I thought this one is just it's so much easier, so much cleaner. Back end, I can just pick up someone, boom, done. And this is actually run by the team, which is great. So it means one less thing for me to do. All right, I'll be honest there. This is fully automated by the team, and it's thank you guys for the team for doing this. So yeah, absolutely. So just check it out. I'll put the link there. Angela's doing this. And check out the NFT giveaway, and we'll add more to it. I'm thinking if this works out well, if this is well received and people like it, then we'll add a lot more things onto it. It'll be much more fun, t-shirts and everything, etc. would be cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Crypto Knight, do you think HoneySwap is good? I think we have the biggest HoneySwap fans in the Telegram chat. It's a situation where I'm cautious. I took a position in xDAI stake at $3. So it's a situation where we moved up a lot, and I'm not re-entering yet. So Honey is like Uniswap, but on xDAI stake. So I kind of rode the way up. So thank you guys, whoever suggested that. And then there were profit taking points up here, so I got it early before the massive pump up, so that was great. Took some profits up here. Now I'm kind of still waiting, and the same thing will be with Honey. I didn't get into a position. I'm kind of waiting for an entry position right now, so that's kind of that. Cryptogram says, where's Sami? Sami is the biggest HoneySwap fan. He's so into it, it's crazy. But yeah, I'm still waiting. I'm waiting there. Binky Beowulf says, box mining crew, NFT art. We actually want to do some NFT art. Also, I'm trying to learn how to draw after this whole thing. Anyways, it's kind of funny. Funny story, right? Digression. All right, so I finally brought charged up my iPad again. I'm learning how to draw. So if you guys really like art, this is something cool. So I drew this. I'm really proud of it. But I followed a video for it. Drawing with flow, absolutely amazing. You just learn how to draw some stuff like this. So I don't know. It's just my part-time hobby now. It's yes, I'm that bored. So, anyways. Oh, that's my life right now. So yeah, so we're pretty much it there for now. We have the admins coming in, and I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who is an admin on this channel. Everyone does it for free. This is crazy, right? We got volunteers all in this channel. Want to really appreciate everyone who's helping out and doing admin, and also adminning the Discord and the Telegram channel. If you guys want to join us for discussion, we're really starting up the Discord channel a lot more. So let me show the Discord channel. So there's two channels that we have, right? So we have a Telegram channel, which is now closed and exclusive, and we have a Discord channel. So Discord channel, it's starting up, and Discord allows us to give a lot more moderation privileges to prevent spam. So I definitely want to invite you guys over there to check it out if you guys aren't in the Telegram channel, etc. And I think we'll have a promotion stream if you want to go to the more exclusive Telegram channel. I think that's the kind of the way we want to do it now. The main reason why is because we've been having a lot of spam issues recently, where a lot of people very aggressively show a certain project. They don't really contribute much to discussions, and they don't provide much alpha. Alpha being like actually good intel and somewhere we can beat the market, right? So that's kind of more important for us, and that's why the group is closed, so we have a more higher concentration density of information. So Discord is now open. So Discord, we have better moderation privileges there, and then we'll have an upstream to Telegram. I think that's the way it's gonna go. None of this is paid, so I'm not really for paid groups, even though I guess I've joined the paid DuckDAO group and the paid Karma DAO group. But I wanted this to be more like community based. It's community driven, community based, and it's not like paid or money. Like money clouds everything here, so it's not about money. So that's kind of how it is. So anyways, check out the Discord there. Hope you guys have fun. People are playing games there. SD's complaining doesn't play generals anymore. I should play more generals. It's been fun. I recently got this, actually. Just talking about real life and stuff. I recently got this, which is the Oculus Quest. So I've been trying out a few games there. Half-Life Alyx being one of them. Also tried out Beat Saber. It's kind of funny. I think the thing with VR is it's super fun. Right, Half-Life Alyx is just amazing. I think the experience, just like looking at this world, is super crazy. I think you'll wonder what is the nature of reality after going into VR. But at the same time, I'm one of those select group of people that get very, very dizzy after playing VR. So after playing this for an hour, I literally have to lie down and try to not throw up for 4 hours. Like, call me noob all you want, call me old all you want, but I think like there are people out there who have this problem. So anyways, even with the new Oculus, I get totally disabled for 4 hours after playing. So then I don't really want to play it anymore, because that it's 4 hours of productivity gone, right? So yeah, like you can do 1 hour of gaming. I'll give myself 1 hour of gaming, but I don't want to like knock myself out for 4 hours. So we'll try to figure out what happens. So anyways, lots of tech on this week, actually. I'll share some of what I'm into these days in terms of tech and what's kind of really cool. I mean, obviously AMD released their new graphics cards. It's meant to be absolutely insane, right? They have the RX 6800 XT. Jesus, the performance that they've been showing us is just absolutely insane. AMD's on a roll this year, right? So I'm just looking at all this tech news. I'm like, wow, like holy crap, it's good to be in a time like this, right? So we have the new NVIDIA chips coming out, absolutely destroying it. And then we have AMD kind of just matching toe to toe. We also have AMD taking a dumpster truck on Intel this year. Yeah, it's crazy. Like the way tech, especially for computers, is jumping this year. It's been great. All of this might be great for mining too, but the only caveat is that all this new tech is super expensive, right? So I've been holding back buying a new graphics card. I want one, but right now in Hong Kong, they're selling it for around 50% premium on the price, and I'm like, I'm too cheap for that. Right? No, I'm too cheap for that. But anyways, this month has been really exciting. I think DJI also released a new Osmo 2. I'm thinking about that. Lots of stuff to buy, like Osmo Pocket Kit 2. I think that was out recently. Yeah, it's just loads and loads of stuff to buy this month, and I'm just like every day I'm just looking at tech news. I'm like, okay, what should I buy out? What's for Christmas, guys? But yeah, that's great. And cryptograms, this AMD is like Michael comes with rage mode. Yeah, and I'll try to be like so many AMD fans here. But yeah, I actually really want to move to AMD, but I also use NVIDIA for NVIDIA broadcast, which is great. I mean, if you look at this, like why I can remove the background from this is because I'm using GPU, right? So like right now you can see I'm almost perfectly removing the background, even though you know that the background is not green screen, right? So like NVIDIA is doing a really great job doing all this. So this competition is going to be great. Like if AMD can match this service, that's crazy, right? So anyways, Derek says, what do you think about the increased transaction fees at Box Mining? What increased transaction fees? ETH? Nah, it's not that much up. I mean, to be honest, you know why I was a little bit bearish also is because transaction fees were going way down, right? If they go down way down, that means no one's using ETH, right? So like right now with ETH gas fees going up a little bit, I think that's actually good. Sorry for being a dick, but you know, that's actually good. So yeah. PH.M says just take travel pills against travel sickness. I think that's a strategy. Like I think there's like some pills they can take to make VR play a lot better, I think. But the caveat to the, like not the caveat, the great thing, all right, I do have to show this a little bit. So this is $299. So I bought the cheapest model. It works fantastic, man. $299 for getting a VR experience, and these controllers don't suck. Like, let me see where my controllers are at. These ones, these are the Oculus ones. They come with the Oculus. Yeah, these are great. Like for $299, like it feels like I'm being ripped off by Nintendo when it comes to the Switch with all the cheap accessories and stuff. Like this feels like solid. I don't complain anything. In fact, with the Oculus, I might do a tutorial if you guys are interested. But the way it works is that I can use the virtual desktop app on my computer to stream content to my Oculus. So that's why I can play Half-Life Alyx and all the Steam games on it. So anyways, that's I didn't know that when I bought it. I was just like, well, this is cool. I bought it. And then I'm like, okay, let me figure out how to do all these hacks and stuff so I could just like wirelessly stream content from my PC to my VR headset. I'm like, this is like so amazing, right? Like my mind is blown. I'm like, oh my God, it's 2020, guys. Like, you know, yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's 2020. I mean, all this tech is like so amazing. So, and there's virtually no lag. I feel like when I play with this, I just use the wireless link to the using virtual desktop. But yeah, that's it. And then we have like PS5 and Xbox, says Mr. Jaja, or PS5 or Xbox. I'll definitely go PS5. Like I have PlayStation and everything, so I mean, there's no reason why not. I guess at this current point, I got myself trapped in the PlayStation ecosystem too early, so you know, that's just me. Plus, you get like what, Horizon Zero Dawn, you get like what, Last of Us, like God of War. Come on, guys. Come on. What does Xbox have, right? What does Xbox have? All right, so that's pretty much it for today. Llama66 is $299 as a steal. No, it's $299 US for this crap. So I mean, yeah, it's like I got a ship from Amazon. I got Amazon Prime for a reason, right? Like the free shipping for stuff. Yeah, Amazon Prime, guys. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching today. I think that's enough digression. Hope you guys had intel. I hope you guys understood what Keep3r is at its final state. I hope that explanation worked out for you guys. Check out the box mining giveaway. I think that's really cool. Check that out. And then yeah, so that's a Gleam giveaway for box mining. And then we also have our next stream coming up. So next stream is coming up very soon. Let me just get the link for you guys on here. And by the way, guys, I hate saying this endlessly like a broken record, but yeah, definitely do check out the click the like, subscribe, whatever, you know, the usual YouTube gig. Cesario land cases, please open Telegram group. I will try. I'll find a way to open it up without spammers. I think that's the kind of the best way for it. And otherwise, find me on Discord. I'll be there. We'll try to do something cool. Like we've been speaking about this for ages. We need like gaming session. Like there's a gaming channel there. Join us for gaming. We'll try to do a community. We'll try to do voice chat. Like Discord has so many features there. I'm just gonna show it really hard. And then yeah, we can also have it'll like link up there as well. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching today. I am super hungry too because I'm still on intermittent fasting, so I will not speak too much. I'm gonna get some food, and I'll see you on the next session. So you guys smash up those likes, guys, and go listen to the podcast too. Check that out podcast